What's up, SKD fans? Today I'm super pumped up to introduce to you the all-new SKD QRP2 Riser for the Aimpoint Patrol Rifle Optic and Comp M4/M4S optics. So these optics will come with a QRP2 base that's got the 3-click torque knob, and it will come with a riser that basically sets the optic height at 1.54. So if you want to slap it onto a flat top M4 with no iron sights, you're ready to go, but it's somewhat of a lower optic height, and it limits your options as far as co-witnessing and lining up with other devices. So the SKD riser comes in, and we offer one of 4 different heights. We've got the 1.73 as pictured here, and this will offer you the bottom 1/3 co-witness on your iron sights. We've got the 1.93, so for those users who are running at-peels, PEC-15s, D-balls, and you don't want that taking up a lot of your field of view, go for 1.93. Gives you a nice high and comfortable cheek weld as well. And we've got the 2.04. It's somewhat of a more uncommon height, but for users who are using clip-on night vision devices, because the Comp M4 is also used heavily with military units, it gives you the height that you would have for a 1/2-inch riser plus a standard 1.54 mount, yielding 2.04, so you can run your CNVD directly on the same rail height in front of the optic. And we have 2.26, the latest hotness from Unity Tactical, so this will line up with all your fast mounts. So going straight into what comes with the packaging. When you order your SKD QRP2 riser, it comes in this nice clamshell. You get a little vial of Vibratite thread locker. You get basic instructions, your riser, and you get 2 screws. So for some of these, you'll find that the screw heights are different. We'll get into that during the installation, but please check to note if your screws are the same length or if they're different. The actual riser itself was designed for us by our friends at Arisaka Defense. It's made from 6061 T6 aircraft grade aluminum and Type 3 mil-spec anodizing, basically created off of the Aimpoint factory drawings and specifications, so you know that this is good to go, and also made in the USA. Here we have the 1.73 riser, so that it elevates the optic, so the iron sight line of sight is now pushed down to the bottom 1/3 of your field of view. So it's a backup setup. You're not going to have iron sights cluttering up your field of view all the time, but when you need them, you just duck your head a little bit and look through, and the iron sights will be there for you at the very bottom of your field of view. Here we have the 2.26 SKD QRP riser, so that it mounts up perfectly with the Unity Tactical flip to center fast mount. So now, with a $40 option or only a $20 add-on if you purchase the optic from SKD, you can now have it line up with the latest and greatest as far as a flip to center mount for your magnifier. Alright, so let's talk about the installation. We have here a Aimpoint Patrol Rifle Optic as it comes from the factory. It is mounted to the QRP2 base with the factory riser, setting this at about 1.54. So the issue with this is if you want to run your backup iron sights through your optic, it's going to clutter up about half of your field of view. So you order one of your 4 heights for the SKD QRP2 riser. And what you get in the clamshell is your riser, your screws, your Vibratite, thread locker, and basic instructions. You're going to need a 3mm Allen wrench for this. So basically, unscrew the base like so. And when you disassemble the mount assembly, this is the piece that you're going to be replacing. the SKD riser just drops into place. And the nice thing about this is that it is omnidirectional. So the way that this riser comes, you can see that there's a left and a right to it. So the knob, the torque knob for the base is set up so it's oriented to the left side of the receiver. For those of you who like to smear or slap your bolt catch for bolt catch reloads, you might find that this protrusion gets in the way when you're smearing and catches your thumb. Also hangs up in your kit and pokes you in the abdomen as it's facing inbound for, again, right-hand users. Being omnidirectional, you can just mount it up with the knob facing this way, which is our preferred direction. Now, the screws. For some of these heights, you're going to find that the screws are different lengths. And that is because we want to keep the longer one up front where there's more meat, and the shorter one in the back because the longer one may go past the threads and start pushing on the bottom of the optic. So if your screws are different heights, the short one always goes towards the back, the front one always goes towards the front. Okay, 3mm Allen wrench. And the factory torque spec is around 25 inch-pounds of torque, I believe. And before you do that, of course, you're going to want to apply your Vibratite thread locker. And that's pretty much it. Now you are good to go. With the knob on the right side of the receiver, you're going to have a nice flat side. This is going to line up pretty much, depending on which rail you use, somewhere over the ejection port. We found that we have no brass strikes. The brass clears perfectly fine. The only downside of this is that it's going to catch this knurling, especially going to catch a lot of carbon. So after you're done shooting, you might be able to see that you get carbon all over the place. What we like to do is just wrap that knob in a piece of tape, and when we're done with training, just take it off and discard it. But that's pretty much install in a nutshell.